Hello, how are you? Did you have any problems with reported speech? Did you enjoy it? Could you translate all the sentence and change them into reported speech, or you had many problems? I would like to know about you. Today we are going to study another different point of a grammatical point in English. In this case, we are going to study those verbs that are followed by infinitive. There exist verbs in English that are followed by ing, gerund, and followed by infinitive. These verbs in Spanish are usually followed by infinitive. Therefore, it's difficult to recognize them, and it's completely necessary we learn by heart this kind of structures. First, we are going to start with a group of verbs that are always followed by infinitive. For example, this one, allow. An example, the police allow us to park here. When this verb, the verb allow, is followed by another verb, we always should use an infinitive, okay? The police allow us to park here. The same happens with the verb ask. I ask her to come. In this case, we need another infinitive. It's necessary. The same happens with the verb want. I want to do it. All these verbs are followed by to plus infinitive. In Spanish, we say quiero hacerlo. We use an infinitive always. But in English, it's completely different. In English, we need an infinitive in this case, but in other cases, we need a gerund. Another common verb is, for example, agree. It's always followed by infinitive. I agree to do it. Or I agree to participate, for example. Participate, okay? In this case, this verb, agree, is also followed by an infinitive. Necessary and infinitive. Another one should be, for example, choose. Choose. Choose means elegir, and we always, if we follow choose by another verb, this verb should be an infinitive. For example, I don't choose to accept it. To plus infinitive, to plus infinitive, to plus infinitive with all these verbs. There exist more other verbs that are followed by to plus infinitive, but in this case we are going to try to remember only this group so that we can make up different kind of sentences and convey different information. Well, now we are going to deal with other groups of verbs that are followed by ing, gerund, okay? Ing, it's called gerund. These verbs are always followed by a verb with ing. These are verbs, for example, like suggest. An example should be, I suggested, for instance, going to the cinema. In this case, we cannot say, I suggest to go. It is not possible. Suggest is a verb that is always followed by ing. The same happens with verbs like, for example, like, dislike, hate. They are followed by ing. For example, I dislike going to the beach. In this case, we use an ing form in order to put another verb after dislike, hate, or like. The same happens with mind. I don't mind, for example, living. Mind means in Spanish importar. In this case, in Spanish, we use an infinitive, but in English, we use an ing form. Other verbs should be, for example, enjoy. I enjoy reading. Here we have the same ing form. Me encanta leer, we say in Spanish, but in English we say I enjoy reading with an ing form. Verbs with prepositions, many cases follow by ing form. For example, give up. She gave up smoking. In this case, an ing form is always necessary, always. All of them are followed by ing forms: suggest, hate, like, dislike, mind, enjoy, give up. There exist many other verbs, but we are only here to pay attention to this group in order to study them deeply, right? Finally, we are going to study more in detail those verbs that can be followed by infinitive or by ing. These verbs sometimes have the same meaning. There exists a group of verbs that can be followed by an infinitive or by ing form. For example, start. We can say I started reading or to read. Both sentences are possible. Both sentences are possible and both sentences are correct, okay? The same happens with begin or the same happens with continue. In this case, in all cases, we can use an ing form or to plus infinitive. I began to work or I began working or I continue reading or to read. Both sentences are completely correct. There exists a slight difference in meaning, but both sentences are correct and they can be interchangeable, okay? Finally, we are going to deal with a group of verbs that can be followed by ing form or by to plus infinitive with a slight change in meaning. If we use ing or if we use to plus infinitive, the sentence conveys a different idea. For example, the verb like. I like reading or I like to wash the dishes by hand. The first sentence is something you usually like doing. The second sentence is something you prefer to do in a specific moment. I like to wash the dishes by hand just now. It's something you prefer just now. But in the other case, I like reading is an habitual action. It's a slight different, and it means that both kind of constructions are possible. Okay? The same happens with the verb, for example, stop. For example, she stopped reading and she stopped to open the door or the bottle or whatever. Okay? She stopped reading, she stopped doing something. She stopped to open the door, she stopped to try to do an activity that may be difficult or not. Okay? She stopped reading, she had no problem. She stopped to do something in the future. It may be a difficult activity or not. This is the slight difference that exists if we use ing form or if we use 2 plus infinitive. Okay? Another difference should be with the verb remember. For example, Tom remember going to the beach. Mary remember to study for her lessons. Okay? In the first sentence, Tom remembers something in the past. In the second sentence, Mary shouldn't forget to study for her lessons. It's different. The first sentence refers to a past action, something that happened in the past, while the second sentence, he should do something in the future. It should be the slight difference that exists in both sentences. Okay? And finally, another verb should be try. She, for example, with ing form, she tried eating honey, and with 2 plus infinitive, she tried to open the door, the same sentence. In the first sentence, she's trying eating, she's doing something, while in the second one, she's making an effort to open the door. It's convey a slight difference between an effort to do something with infinitive, while the other is an habitual action she usually do or does, in many cases. The difference, these verbs, the difference are a slight difference that exists, and they can help us to understand better text or the specific ideas or certain sentence. Okay? Therefore, these verbs like stop, remember, and try can be followed by ing or 2 plus infinitive conveying a different meaning. The difference is not very strong, but we can find it. Okay? Okay, we'll have finished with this brief introduction about verbs followed by ing or 2 plus infinitive. I would like you write a short composition for the next day about your likes and dislikes, and using verbs with ing and verbs with 2 plus infinitive, this kind of structures, in order to practice them and use them properly. Okay, I think you can understand all these explanations, and I hope to explain you more grammatical points next day. See you. Bye-bye.